Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I thought we'd do something a bit different. I thought we'd do a craft video. So I have got these little wireless earbud things, earbuds I guess they are, for my son for Christmas. And I thought it'd be nice to personalise the case because it's just a plain black case at the moment. Looks a bit like a Halloween macaroon, which is a bit fun. So we're going to use the Cricut machine to cut out a little decal to go on there. I'm going to use some black sparkly vinyl. I'm not sure what the brand of this is because I bought it at a wholesaler's at the weekend. I have used it in a gold sparkle on some Christmas decorations and they've held up really well. The only difference that I've got with this is that it's like a matte, almost soft plastic finish. So just be a bit concerned I won't be able to clean it with any rubbing alcohol or an alcohol wipe, which is what I would normally do before I stick a decal onto anything. And that just makes sure that there's no oil or anything that's going to stop the vinyl from sticking really securely to it. But if it comes off, then I shall just do it again for him. It's only really so that he can identify that they're there for him, and it's a bit of fun as well. So I'll link these particular earbuds down below for you. They're quite good. They come in a little case and it shows you their charge state just there, and they're on 85% at the moment. I haven't actually, is that one the same? I haven't actually charged them. This is just how they came when I bought them from Amazon. They're playing something, they're connected to my phone because I've tried them. There's a little vanity mirror inside, which for a girl would be brilliant because you just check your eye makeup, which I haven't really got any on today, just a bit of mascara. So they're great fun, and I think these were $16.49. I got them on a lightning deal, but I think even still they're only about £19, which for a 13-year-old boy I think's ideal, because obviously he might lose them. So I didn't want to spend like Apple AirPod money on them, but so there we go, that's those. Let's get into personalising them. Okay, let's get into Cricut Design Space and we'll just open a new project, and then now we'll add some text. We're just clicking on the T, and I'm just going to type in my son's initials in capital letters, which are HR, and I'm just going to move that up to the top of the screen so that I've got a bit more of a visual space for me to move them around. Next, I'm just going to choose my font. So go up to the font drop down box and choose a font. If you've got Cricut Access, all these fonts on the left will be included, but I haven't, so I'm just using my system fonts. I'm just going to check a couple of the ones that I know I've used before and I like, and I'm just going to see what they are going to look like. I always think it's a good idea to try a few different fonts because we always get our favourites, and sometimes the one that we think we might like actually doesn't work well on a particular project. In this case I want something quite blocky to fill the space, and one of my favourite fonts for that is called Phosphate. It was a free font off Font. It's for commercial and personal use. It's similar to a Jurassic Park style font. The next thing we need to do is make sure we know the measurements of the space that we've got to fill, and we can change the size of the lettering just by dragging the arrows either at the bottom right, or we can make it customised by unlocking the little padlock just at the bottom left and then using the arrows again, and we can drag that up, down, left or right, and then you can see at the top and the right the measurements of our lettering is just there now for us to see. So I'm just going to pop back up here and relock that padlock just to make sure I don't accidentally change my measurements. Now I'm just going to move up to the top right of the screen and click on the Make It icon. So now we will move on to the next screen, and this is what our mat will look like and where the HR will actually cut when we come to doing the cutting. So this screen shows us our mat, it shows us the size of the material that we're going to use, and it shows us our mirror settings. Mirror basically flips your decal backwards. So if you are using a iron-on transfer or something like that, then you would need to mirror, but in this instance we don't need to use that setting at all. So once you're happy with your settings, just click down the bottom with continue, and your computer will now look for your Cricut. And mine is plugged in using a USB. So now I'm just going to prepare my mat for cutting, and this is the vinyl I'm using. It's a really sparkly black holographic. It's really pretty. I'm hoping that he's going to like this because it's quite understated but still a little bit jazzy. So I'm just going to start off by unrolling the whole roll onto my regular cutting mat, and then I'm just going to measure the piece that I want. I'm going to make it 1/2 centimetre bigger in either direction, just so that it's got a little bit of overlap just in case, and then I'm going to cut it out using my craft knife. So the piece I need for this particular decal is about 4 centimetres square. There we go. I'm just going to roll my vinyl back up and stick it out of the way. And then I'm going to get my light grip cutting mat, and I'm going to pop it in the top corner. Now I'm not going to use a scraper to push this down. I'm going to use my roller because it's a shiny vinyl. I don't want to scratch the surface with my scraper. So I've got my machine all set up and ready to go. I'm just going to pop my mat into the machine, and I'm going to press the button to load the mat, and the machine will calibrate backwards and forwards. When it does this, it's just detecting what tool you've got there and whether you've got any additional items in your A or B clamps. So just popping back to the computer screen, so now that we've all set up with our mat, we need to choose our material. So I've got all these different ones favorited here, but I'm just going to pick vinyl because that is what I'm using, just a basic vinyl, nothing special. Once I've chosen my vinyl, I can move along to the next screen. So this shows me the pressure settings that I've got. I've left mine as default. Some people do change that to more pressure, but I think that for me, standard pressure just works fine. And maybe as my blade goes a bit more dull or gets older, then I may need to change that to using more pressure. But at the moment it's fine, so I just don't really feel that there's a need to change that. So I'm just going to go back to my machine and click on the flashing C in the middle, and the machine will start the process of detecting the tools and calibrating, and then now it will start to cut my vinyl. So when the machine's finished cutting, the flashing eject button will start to flash. Push that and your mat will spit out. So while the maker is cutting, you'll see this on your computer screen. It goes through the detecting of the tool, and then it will show you the percentage that it's completed in the cutting. This actually showed 100% complete before the machine had actually finished doing the cut. So just make sure that you wait for the machine to tell you it's finished. Don't go by what it shows you on your computer screen. So now just click on finish in the bottom right and you are done. So now we've got our vinyl out of the machine, we're just going to start the weeding process. So weeding is when you remove all the pieces of vinyl that you don't need in your decal or in your design. So you need a weeding tool for this, and all we're going to do is leave it on the mat, it's much easier. You get a weeding tool and I'm going to pull off the outside of the letters. So you can just see that there. So now I'm just going to continue doing the weeding on the insides of the letters. So once it's all weeded, flip your mat over, bend it back a little bit and peel away your mat from your decal. Don't do it the other way because you will bend your decal. And I'm just going to put my protective cover back on my mat just to make sure that it stays as clean as possible. So I'm happy with my decal. Here's my earbud case that I'm going to put this onto. As I mentioned at the start, because of the nature of the cover and what it's made of, I don't think I'll be able to clean it as I normally would with some alcohol. So I'm just going to stick it on and hope for the best. So I'm just going to grab a little bit of transfer tape. I'm just going to cut out a piece that's roughly the same size as my vinyl decal. So just peel the back off your transfer tape and attach it onto your vinyl. And then just take a scraper and smooth it down really well. Make sure there's no bubbles or creases in it if you can. And next we just need to peel the back off. So we're going to pull it back as close to 90-degree angle as we can. And then our decal should just stay on our transfer tape. Just get your earbud case and position your decal where you want it to be and give it a really good smooth down. Make sure there's no wrinkles in any of the lettering. Give it a good old squish with your fingers, make sure it's stuck nicely on all the edges. Now carefully just start to peel back your transfer tape, just making sure that your decal stays stuck down. And there we have it, a finished earbud case personalised with my son's initials, all ready for sending off to Santa. So I hope you found that really useful. If you've got a Cricut machine, it's just a really basic first project to show you. I've had my Cricut now for about 12 months, so I've done some funky things with it. So I will show you some more videos as we go along. If you like this video and you want to see more, please comment down below or drop a like on the video. If you would subscribe, that would be fabulous, because it will really help me out with the channel growth. And I will see you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.